Important repairs to the Roswell P. Flower statue in downtown Watertown. Routine things to preserve the 120 years of history here. It's a $24,000 project. It'll take a week to do, and it's done every 5 years. We check in on the work tonight and the people behind it with 7 News reporter Gage Kilborn.
This 120-year-old statue sits on Washington Street in downtown Watertown. At 18 feet tall, Roswell P. Flower, the only native and northern New Yorker to have been elected governor, watches over the city. Now, maintaining this statue takes meticulous care.
We're doing a cleaning of the monument, and that involves both cleaning the monument with by hand with soft bristled brushes and a mild detergent, followed by a light pressure washing.
Following this, the crews doing the work use a chemical to restore the original color and finally apply wax on the statue to protect it from the elements. The preservation of the statue was started in the early 2000s when Randy Richardson wanted the monument brought back to its former glory.
Back about 25 years ago, 2000, 2001, a volunteer group led by Mr. Richardson raised about $125,000 to do a complete restoration of the monument.
I think it's important that we take care of our monuments, and this is just one of those things that we have to take care of and make sure that years down the line that this still stands.
Watertown's looking to maintain the pages of its history, one brush at a time. Gage Kilborn, 7 News.